All right, next we are going to be talking about setting up our profile. Anytime that you are going to run traffic to something on the internet, if you want to make money from it, your first step is to optimize something for conversion. So we need to actually get our profile, what's called traffic ready. We need to get it into a place where if we're going to send traffic to it, that we know that that traffic has actions it can take, it's set up and designed well so that they can actually convert into a lead and eventually a customer. And so we first want to set that up before we do anything. And so profile optimization, we're going to go through a number of things, but number one is we want to get our profile photo set up. And so we're going to walk you through step by step how that should look and just some quick tips on setting up your profile. So we're first going to look at Dawn's profile. Dawn Cooper is a great member in our community, and she's got her profile really tight, set up really well. And so a couple things with your photos on your profile. So number one, Dawn has a great cover photo and she's got a great profile picture. So the profile picture is really one of the first things. You really want to make sure that you've got a picture of yourself. Hopefully it's a good picture. It doesn't have to necessarily be professional or anything like that, but a picture of you and your face. That's why it's called Facebook. So if you are going to be using Facebook to make money, you do not have a picture of a funny meme or a cat or your kids or some random object or something on your profile picture. Your profile picture should be a picture of you. Your audience needs to be able to see who they are connecting with. It builds trust faster. People can look into literally like your eyes on your profile picture. They see who you are. It's a big thing. Do not attempt to go do any form of Facebook marketing or building an income with your profile if you don't want to have your profile picture a picture of you. It's just how it is, okay? Next is going to be your cover photo. Your cover photo can be done in a number of ways, but you want to think of your profile as essentially like valuable real estate. It has got a lot of space on this that we can use to convert random prospects, random traffic into leads and sales. And so you want to use that real estate as best as you possibly can. And so Dawn has used her cover photo here to convey her message. So she already has a brand and a niche and a product and all those things picked out, which you will need to do before you're going to be doing any form of traffic building, obviously. But once you have all those things, then you can tailor your profile to meet those things. And so I would always make sure that you've got some form of marketing message or something maybe on your profile if you're going to do it this way. And Dawn's is obviously promoting a make money online product, and so her message is directly tied in to the funnel that she's using. And this is an important thing. Any funnel, sales funnel that you're going to be using to convert leads and sales likely has some sort of a marketing message in it, and it likely has some sort of a lead magnet or some piece of value it's going to be giving to people who view that page. You want your message that you're using on your profile to be congruent with whatever is in your funnel. If there's a lack of congruency, you're going to find that conversions actually go way down. So whatever you're saying in your marketing messages, whatever you're using in your imagery, you want to try to bring that into the sales funnel, lead magnet, the landing page. You want to do that in concert. They should be as congruent as possible. So these two places are very valuable pieces of real estate on your profile, and the more congruent that they look, the more that your profile actually starts to resemble a sales funnel. And so that's the first two that I would be concerned with and looking at. The next piece of our profile we want to look at is the intro. What does our profile intro look like? So when you look at Dawn's intro, she's got helping people earn $10K a month online and quit their 9-to-5s. And then she's obviously got a link to where she wants people to go. This is obviously another very important piece of real estate. The first thing that users typically see is this. And so they're going to read that. This needs to be short, needs to be punchy, and it needs to not be about you. A lot of people screw this up. Your intro isn't about you. Your intro is about your audience. Big difference. And so this is about what you do for other people, not what is so special about you. Okay, big difference. And then of course, this is a valuable place to have a link. And so great place to put it right there. Speaking of links, you can also link on your actual cover photo and your profile photo. So if I click in here, Dawn could come in here. I won't be able to do it for her, but on her side, she's actually got the option where if she clicked these three dots, it would say add a caption. She could add a caption onto this photo that's her profile photo and add her link there as well. And she could do the same thing on her cover photo. So she has done it there. Great. So she's got her link there in the cover photo as well. Another valuable piece of real estate where she can actually have her cover photo and a link. So the more opportunities you give people to get to you, get to what you're promoting, what your offer is, the better. And so there's another great opportunity there for her. Going back to the intro, so she's got her link, she's got a nice snappy headline there, that's perfect. If we look at somebody else's, like Tenny makes a pile of money off of his Facebook profile, and so his profile naturally is done very well. Great profile picture of Tenny, beautiful golden locks, got his cover photo, really succinct, great message, and then his intro, same thing. $500 a day online product with no product experience or having to sell, right? So he's got his link there, perfect. Let's see if he's utilized his links up here. He has, so he's got his link there and his cover photo. Let's check out his profile picture and see if he actually put his link in there. A lot of people miss that one. So Tenny could come in here and add a caption on this photo too and put his link in there. So both him and Don missed that, but that's okay. They've got it in all the right places everywhere else. So that's the intro, very important piece of this whole puzzle. Next is the About Me section and your link. So we already saw that you could put a link obviously in the intro section, but you can also put it in your actual About Me section. So the About Me section is what kind of takes care of all of this down here. So you can see Tenny's got his Instagram linked up, he's got his TikTok linked up, and then he's got his main link, his links, tennytravels.com link in there as well. And then just a little bit about him, right? So that's a good spot for the About Me info is right in here. Tenny's using a professional profile, so his profile's as a digital creator. We'll get into that. We can talk about that, but that is how he has his set up right now. And so, again, you want to make this clear, brief, and then your links is a very important element to get in there. Make sure you've got your appropriate links set up. One, preferably to your landing page, lead magnet, whatever you're attempting to sell online, and then another to your other profiles. If you're building more than one traffic source, you want to be able to take your audience from one traffic source over to another, ideally, if that's what you're doing. Next is your profile settings. And so your profile settings are important. We want to make sure that your account is actually set up this way because you've got maybe a history of having a personal profile and you maybe haven't thought about turning it into more of a marketing machine, which means that your profile settings do need to be adjusted and changed. So if we come over to our profile, we can go into settings and privacy. And then I want to just really quickly take you through a few of these. So under settings first, that'll take us to the actual whole settings tab where we can manage most of our preferences and things like that in here. So you may have an option to have a professional mode on your account. It's somewhat selective from Facebook. So you may decide to choose your professional mode for an account, which means it takes it out of more of the friendship mode and more into turning it more like an Instagram account where people can only really follow you and follow along that way. There's different schools of thought on professional mode. It's still fairly new, so the jury's somewhat out of if it's better, if it's worse. I've seen people say that they get better organic reach with a professional mode profile. I've seen other people say it's hurt their reach, and they got more reach when they were just showing content to their friends and things like that and their followers. So I think it depends. It's up to you how you choose to do that. But first things first, we're going to come into privacy. Privacy shortcuts. You want to make sure that your activity, who can see your future posts, you want it to be public, right? If we're going in, we're going to do this the right way, you want it to be public. You want people to be able to see your profile, even if they're not friends with you. That means that you have the opportunity to market with your profile to the entire world. You don't want to cut off your traffic sources and only leave it to like the 400 friends you have on Facebook. You want to open up your profile to the world. Review all your posts and things you're tagged in. So yes, I usually select this on as, I want to review posts and things that I'm tagged in personally. That way I'm again auditing what's going to end up going on my profile. If I'm using my profile as a marketing tool, then I want to make sure that I get to see what's posted on there from other people, because we all have friends and family and people like that who tag us and stuff, and it just is going to end up cluttering up your feed. And so I want to see the things that I'm going to be tagged in and then get to approve them prior to them hitting my page. It's just, again, about managing. And so this you will not need to worry about unless you turn this on. Do not turn it on. You want to make sure your past posts are fully visible to everybody. Who can see the people, pages, and lists and stuff you follow? It's your call on that. You can decide if it's nobody or just friends or everybody. It's up to you. This one's an important one down here. Do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? Yeah, I always leave that on. It's just, again, more ways for people to find me. You can adjust your message request settings. Messaging is a very important part of building traffic on Facebook. Messaging is really how you're going to end up selling. And so I would make sure that any message requests or any things like that are on as best as you possibly can. Although if people aren't friends with you, you may still get messages that go to your other inbox or your spam inbox. You want to make sure you're checking those frequently because you'll find a ton of things in there. And so that's important. Obviously, you've got your Facebook information. This is where you would adjust anything in your About Me section and your links and things like that. Your profile and tagging. So who can post on your profile? I've got it as only me. Who can see others post on your profile? Everybody. So if I do have somebody tag me in something and I approve it, I want everybody to be able to see that. So you can go there and make any of those adjustments there. Again, I have review posts that I'm tagged in before allowing them to go to my profile. So you want to make sure you can turn that on. Public posts. Who can follow me? My account's in professional mode. So I have this set up, but if you are using a personal profile that's not in professional mode, you're just on like the basic mode, you may have to adjust the settings here of who can follow you, but you do want it to be public. You want everybody to be able to follow you. And you can see that all my settings, they're pretty much all public, okay? Okay, good on that. So those are just some of the basic settings that I would make sure my account has. Ultimately, if you want the synopsis, you want your account to be a very open account. You want to be able to have everybody see what is on your account and everybody to be able to follow you. And then in terms of how you manage the account, you want to have full control of what gets put on the account, and anything that you are not personally putting on that account, you want to have the ability to audit, manage, approve, or disapprove whether it shows up on your account the same way that you would if you were a realtor and you had a billboard. You would want to get the final say of who gets to see what's on there, like what is actually the message that's on there. You don't want somebody just to put something on there that you don't want, and so you want to have the final say. Treat your profile just like one of those billboards, or just like a sales funnel. It should have intention behind it. It should have a look. It should feel a certain way. And you want your audience who sees that to look and have a certain experience when they're going through your profile. So your profile settings are important not only for growing and building the profile, but also for conversions and what people experience once they're there, so that they can build trust quickly and then ultimately become a customer. And then the last piece is your profile hygiene. So your profile hygiene just means what's actually on the profile. We've all had sometimes profiles for a long time. If you've still got pictures of you doing a beer keg stand from when you were in high school and you're now 27, it might be time to just hide that and get that off your profile, unless it is in total alignment and congruence with your brand. I was just using that as an example. For some people, that may work for you, but your brand, your audience, the people you're trying to serve, you kind of get an idea of maybe what's going to be great for them to see and what's maybe not so great for them to see. If you've got a profile that you've just sort of been using for whatever, and it may be a little mismanaged, meaning that you've got pictures and things like that on there from years ago that maybe aren't relevant to what you're trying to do now, save them, throw them in a folder somewhere, and get them off your profile so that you can clean up the profile and have it look really professional, have it be catering specifically to your audience of people. You also want to go through your timeline and do the same thing. You want to remove any junk or any crap. If you've been doing nothing but posting conspiracy theories for the last 3 years on your timeline, which people do, and maybe that's your audience of people, then leave it. But if it's not your audience of people, get your profile cleaned up and essentially just get it looking professional. Again, there's nothing wrong with, if that's what you love, that's who you are, conspiracy theories are your deal, and you're trying to attract people who also love that kind of stuff. I'm guilty of reading that stuff. I like it. It's pretty entertaining and shocking, a lot of it too. It's intriguing for people. If that's your audience, perfect. But if it's not your audience, it means that it's kind of an unfocused message, meaning that stuff is only going to serve to distract the people that you've got on your page. And so that distraction is ultimately going to hurt conversion. So if you're right now thinking to yourself, but I really like that stuff, I don't want to like compromise who I am for my profile. Now you're starting to again think like what we talked about initially in the overview video of what's more important. Are you trying to really build a business and an income with this thing? Is it an asset for you? Or do you just love having your profile so much for sharing all this random stuff that you would rather do that than make money? And if that's the case, that's totally cool. I respect it. You're going to have to go pick another platform to build on and leave your personal profile just for your personal stuff, and you can keep sharing stuff like that. This is specifically for people who want to turn their personal profile into a moneymaker. And if you want to do that, there is some protocol here you have to kind of follow and just sort of accept, okay? So that choice is always, of course, up to you, but that's what I would recommend is do some profile hygiene, clean it up, make it appealing to the audience of people that are in your niche, right? Make it so it's on brand. You're building a personal brand there. So everything you post says something about you. Every single thing you comment, post, do is adding and kind of rounding out your personal brand. Your audience sees all of that. And we are human after all. People make snap judgments. People start to define who you are, what you're about, based on just what they can see. Remember, they don't get a chance sometimes to have this personal conversation with us, and we don't have time to give context to everything we're posting. They see it, they make a snap judgment, and right there you either got them or lost them. And so be wise with what you allow on your profile, and of course define your personal brand, and then make sure your profile is a really good visual representation of what you're about.